Good evening. This is All India Radio. I am Valsa Williams and with me is Prashant Kumar Sinha with the evening news. The headlines. India beat England in final cricket test to clinch series 3-1, qualify for World Test Championship final, reclaim top spot in latest ICC Test team rankings. PV Sindhu storms into women's singles final of Swiss Open badminton tournament at Basel. Prime Minister Narendra Modi chairs a valedictory session of Combined Commanders Conference at Kevadia in Gujarat. President Ramnath Kovind says objective of judicial system is not only to resolve disputes but also to protect justice. BJP releases first list of 56 candidates for West Bengal Assembly elections. Shubhendu Adhikari to contest against West Bengal Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee on Nondigram seat. Ruling AIADMK party allots 20 assembly seats and Kanyakumari parliamentary seat to BJP for upcoming polls in Tamil Nadu. Union Health Ministry and Niti Aayog review COVID-19 situation of states and union territory with spike in corona cases. Over 1.94 crore people administered the COVID-19 vaccine in the country so far. Supreme Court to start hearing cases in hybrid manner, both physical and virtual, from the 15th of March. And Indian men's team takes on Britain in European Hockey Series in Belgium. As the nation fights the COVID-19 pandemic, we begin with a message of precaution to stay safe and protected by following these 3 simple steps. Wear a face mask, maintain 2 gaz ki duri for social distancing, focus on hand and face hygiene. And now the news in detail. It was a golden day for India in the field of sports as India defeated England in the final cricket test match at Ahmedabad to enter the final of the inaugural edition of the World Test Championship. And in badminton, Olympic silver medalist PV Sindhu entered the women's singles final of the Swiss Open tournament. India defeated England by an innings and 25 runs in the 4th and final test played at the Narendra Modi Stadium in Ahmedabad this evening. With this win, India clinched the 4-match series 3-1 and sealed a place in the final of the inaugural edition of the World Test Championship.
Absolutely outstanding. Got off to a bad start, if you want to call that first defeat in Chennai, but thereafter they look like the champions. ATM Test Series, another one in the pocket for India. 13th consecutive series wins. And Virat Kohli and his boys will be pleased that they've qualified for the World Test Championship and they will be playing at the Lords against New Zealand.
Rishabh Pant with his formidable innings of 101 runs and Washington Sundar, who scored an unbeaten 96, set up the huge win for the hosts after they bowled the visitors out for 205 in their first innings. Ravichandran Ashwin and Akshar Patel picked up 5 wicket hauls in the second innings to help India bundle England out for 135. Dan Lawrence put up a half-century for the visitors. India made 365 runs in their first innings, while Rishabh Pant was declared Player of the Match. Player of the Series award went to Ravichandran Ashwin. Both teams will now shift their focus to the shortest format of the game, as they will play 5 T20 internationals at the same venue starting from the 12th of this month. Now, India will meet New Zealand in the final of the ICC World Test Championship, which is scheduled to start from June the 18th. At Lord's Cricket Ground, New Zealand had already qualified for the final of the World Test Championship last month. With the comprehensive 3-1 Test Series win over England, Team India has reclaimed the top spot in the latest ICC Test team rankings. Virat Kohli and company jumped to the first position with a rating of 122, while New Zealand are at second with 118. President Ramnath Kovind has congratulated Team India for winning the Test Series 3-1 against England, becoming finalists of the inaugural ICC World Test Championship and reaching the top of the ICC Test team rankings table.
In badminton, PV Sindhu has entered the women's singles final of the Swiss Open tournament at Basel. She defeated 4th seed Mia Blichfeld of Denmark 22-20, 21-10 in the semi-final this evening. In the men's singles semi-final, former champion Kidambi Srikanth lost to top seed Victor Axelsen of Denmark 13-21, 19-21. In men's doubles, world number 10 pair of Satvik Sairaj Rankireddy and Chirag Shetty face 6th seed Danish pair of Kim Astrup and Anders Skurup Rasmussen in the semi-final today. Prime Minister Narendra Modi chaired the valedictory session of the Combined Commanders Conference at the Statue of Unity in Kevadia, Gujarat today. Our correspondent reports that during the three-day conference, Defence Minister Rajnath Singh, the military commanders and a team of secretary-level officers from the Ministry of Defence participated in deliberations. Chief of Defence Staff General Bipin Rawat, Army Chief General M.M. Narbane, Air Chief Marshal R.K.S. Bhaduria and Navy Chief Admiral Karambir Singh also attended the conference. Jawans and junior commissioned officers also participated in the conference for the first time. The Combined Commanders Conference, which is a premier brainstorming event of military officials, is taking place after 3 years. According to sources, the scope of this year's conference was expanded to make it a multi-layered, interactive, informal and informed event with the added participation of about 30 officers and soldiers of various ranks from the three services. President Ramnath Kovind has said that the objective of the judicial system is not merely to resolve disputes, but also to uphold justice. This could be implemented by removing obstacles like delays in the delivery of justice. He was speaking at the inauguration of the All India State Judicial Academy's Directors Retreat at Jabalpur in Madhya Pradesh today during his two-day visit. The President further said that to provide speedy delivery of justice, it is essential that besides extensive judicial training, there is need to introduce the use of technology in our judicial processes. Mr. Kovind advised the judiciary to play a proactive role while staying vigilant in resolving loopholes present in the court proceedings and process.
अदालती कार्रवाई और प्रक्रियाओं में मौजूद इन लूप होल्स का निराकरण करने में न्यायपालिका को सजग रहते हुए प्रोएक्टिव भूमिका निभानी आवश्यक हो जाती है। राष्ट्रीय एवं अंतर्राष्ट्रीय स्तर पर होने वाले इनोवेशंस को अपनाकर और बेस्ट प्रैक्टिसेस को साझा करके इस लक्ष्य को प्राप्त किया जा सकता है। मुझे विश्वास है कि 2 दिन तक चलने वाले सम्मेलन में न्यायिक प्रशासन के इन सभी पहलुओं पर गहराई से विचार विमर्श किया जाएगा और कार्रवाई के बिंदु तय किए जाएंगे।
More from our correspondent.
President was happy to note that the use of technology in the judicial system has increased rapidly. More than 18,000 courts have been computerized in the country and around 76 lakh cases were heard in virtual courts across the country during the lockdown period. For the first time in the country, the judicial academies of all the states have been coming on one platform and discussing for improvement in the judicial process. The Chief Justice of India, Sharad Arvind Bobde, also called it an exemplary initiative and emphasized that need for all-round development of judges' personality along with judicial education. President also performed the Narmada Aarti at Gwari Ghat on the banks of river Narmada and attended a cultural program organized in the Madhya Pradesh High Court premises. Sanjeev Sharma, AIR News, Jabalpur.
The Bharatiya Janata Party today released the first list of 56 candidates for the West Bengal Assembly elections. The party has pitted Shubhendu Adhikari against West Bengal Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee on the Nandigram seat. Mr. Adhikari, who used to be the key aide of Ms. Banerjee, joined the BJP a few months back. Former cricketer Ashok Dinda will be the party candidate from Moyna, while former IPS officer Bharati Ghosh will contest from Devra seat. Announcing the names of the candidates in New Delhi, BJP General Secretary Arun Singh said the party has left Bagmundi Assembly seat to its ally AJSU. The BJP has fielded Sudeep Mukherjee from Purulia, Tapon Bhuiya from Kharagpur and Shomita Das from Medinipur Assembly constituency. BJP has also released the first list of 70 candidates for assembly polls in Assam. Party leader and Assam Chief Minister Sarbananda Sonowal will contest from his sitting Majuli Assembly seat, while State Minister Hemanta Biswa Sarma will try his fate from his sitting Jalukbari constituency in the ensuing State Assembly elections. BJP, Ahom Gana Parishad, AGP and the United People's Party Liberal UPPL also finalized the seat-sharing arrangement, under which AGP will contest on 26 seats and UPPL on 8 seats. In Tamil Nadu, the ruling AIADMK party has allotted 20 seats for the BJP and also the Kanyakumari parliamentary seat, which fell vacant due to the death of Congress MP H. Vasantha Kumar due to COVID-19. BJP has fielded former Union Minister Ponna Radhakrishnan for the by-election to the Kanyakumari Lok Sabha seat. The by-election will be held on the 6th of next month along with the state assembly elections. The seat allocation for DMDK party is yet to be finalized. The other prime partner in the front is PMK, which has already been allotted 23 seats, and other smaller parties are yet to get their seats. On the DMK front, seat sharing for the Congress is yet to be finalized. CPI and VCK have been allotted 6 seats each. IUML is to fight in 3 and MNM in 2 constituencies. MDMK and CPM are yet to get their share. In Kerala, discussions on candidates' selection are progressing within various political fronts ahead of the upcoming state assembly elections. The state committee of CPIM, which met at Thiruvananthapuram, prepared the draft list of candidates. CPI constituency-wise meetings are also progressing. The Congress Screening Committee meeting to select candidates began at KPCC headquarters. The Congress Election Committee has decided not to give seats to those who failed for 2 consecutive times. Meeting to finalize the UDF's poll manifesto is also proceeding simultaneously. It is widely expected that the BJP primary candidate list will be out soon.
Chief Electoral Officer of Tamil Nadu, Satyabrat Sahu, has asserted that the electronic voting machines are foolproof and voters can rest assured that the Indian democracy is safe. He was addressing the valedictory function of the orientation program for the part-time correspondents of Prasar Bharati, organized by the Regional News Unit of AIR Chennai today. Mr. Sahu said that though Corona has put us in a difficult situation, the Election Commission is trying its best to conduct the elections in a flawless manner. Consumption of news by the people has changed over the period of time, and AIR News has found its way to adapt to new technology by providing news to the listener's choice. N. Venudhar Reddy, Principal Director General, News All India Radio, said today in Chennai. The PDG was delivering keynote address at the orientation program for part-time correspondents of Prasar Bharati, organized by the Regional News Unit of AIR in Chennai on account of the forthcoming assembly elections in Tamil Nadu and Puducherry. As per the directions of the Election Commission, the preliminary arrangements for the storage of EVMs in strong rooms and the counting process has been initiated in the Union Territory of Puducherry. Puducherry District Collector and District Election Officer Purva Garg today visited the counting stations along with returning officers and nodal officers to have a smooth and prompt counting process. More from our Puducherry correspondent.
The District Election Officer Purva Garg gave instructions to the concerned departments to prepare the counting centers as per the guidelines of the Election Commission of India. The counting centers will be used for preparation of EVMs in the presence of political parties and storage of polled EVMs for counting. As such, 3-tier security would be provided to the counting centers. This year, there will be 3 counting centers to count the votes polled in the 23 constituencies in Puducherry region. The votes polled in 9 constituencies will be counted in Women's Polytechnic College. Another 9 constituency votes will be counted in Motilal Nehru Government Polytechnic, and the votes polled in 5 constituencies will be counted at Dagur Government Arts and Science College. And all these centers are located in Laspet. The votes polled in Karaikal, Mahe and Yanam regions will be counted in the respective region and the results conveyed to the CEO Puducherry. Chandramohan, AIR News, Puducherry.
You are listening to the evening news on All India Radio. A reminder of the headlines before we move on. India beat England in final cricket test to clinch series 3-1, qualify for World Test Championship finals, reclaim top spot in latest ICC Test team rankings. PV Sindhu storms into women's singles final of Swiss Open badminton tournament at Basel. Prime Minister Narendra Modi chairs valedictory session of Combined Commanders Conference at Kevadia in Gujarat. President Ram Nath Kovind says objective of judicial system is not only to resolve disputes but also to protect justice. BJP releases first list of 56 candidates for West Bengal Assembly elections. Shubhendu Adhikari to contest against West Bengal Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee on Nandigram seat. Ruling AIADMK party allots 20 assembly seats and Kanyakumari parliamentary seat to BJP for upcoming polls in Tamil Nadu. Union Health Ministry and Niti Aayog review COVID-19 situation of states and union territory with spike in corona cases. Over 1,94 lakh people administered COVID-19 vaccine in the country so far. Supreme Court to start hearing cases in hybrid manner, both physical and virtual, from the 15th of March. And Indian men's team take on Britain in European Hockey Series in Belgium. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle at AIR News Alert.
चलो मिलकर एक शुरुआत करें, चलो एक फैसला आज करें, मास्क नहीं तो टोकेंगे, कोरोना को रोकेंगे, चलो एक इरादा करते हैं, चलो कुछ वादा करते हैं, मास्क नहीं तो टोकेंगे, कोरोना को रोकेंगे.
Welcome back to the evening news. The Union Health Ministry along with Niti Aayog today reviewed the COVID-19 situation of the states and union territory wherein positive cases are rising. Health and Family Welfare Secretary Rajesh Bhushan and Member Health of Niti Aayog Dr. Vinod K. Paul interacted with health secretaries and officials of Haryana, Andhra Pradesh, Odisha, Goa, Himachal Pradesh, Uttarakhand, Delhi and Chandigarh. During the interaction, ongoing public health measures and management strategies have been discussed. It was pointed out that Delhi, Haryana, Andhra Pradesh, Odisha, Himachal Pradesh, Uttarakhand, Goa, Chandigarh pose concern as several districts are witnessing rising cases. States and union territories were asked to ramp up testing, refocus on surveillance and stringent containment mechanism, accelerate vaccination and promotion of COVID-appropriate behavior. It has also been asked to collaborate with private hospitals to open up vaccination timetable for a minimum of 15 days and maximum of 28 days at a time. The central government has rushed high-level multidisciplinary public health teams to Maharashtra and Punjab in view of the increase in number of daily new COVID-19 cases being consistently reported by these states. They are being deployed to assist the state health departments in COVID-19 surveillance, control and containment measures.
More than 1,94,97,000 doses of COVID-19 vaccine have been administered to beneficiaries in the country so far. The Health and Family Welfare Ministry today informed that a total of 14,92,201 doses of vaccines were administered to beneficiaries in the past 24 hours. Meanwhile, the country's COVID-19 recovery rate has reached 96.98% with total recovery of more than 14,000 patients in the past 24 hours. The ministry said that more than 1,08 lakh patients have already recovered from this disease. A total number of 18,321 and 27 new cases were reported in the country in the past 24 hours. COVID-19 vaccination for veterans and dependents of armed forces personnel in service hospitals is expected to start next week. The Union Health Ministry has given approval in this regard. The Indian Army said the process is likely to commence next week after completion of registration of armed forces medical facilities on CoWIN platform. The guidelines for vaccination will be issued in a few days. The News Services Division of All India Radio, in its bilingual live phone-in program tonight, will bring listeners a special discussion on COVID-19. Dr. Mona Desai, Chairperson, Women Doctors Wing, IMA, and Member of Action Committee on COVID, IMA Ahmedabad, will participate in the discussion. This can be heard on the FM Gold channel and additional frequencies from 9:30 p.m. onwards. Listeners can ask questions to the experts on toll-free telephone number 1-800-115-767. One can also ask questions on telephone number 011-2331-4444 and post queries on our Twitter handle at AIR News Alerts by hashtag AskAIR. This program will also be available on our website newsonair.com and on our YouTube channel News on AIR Official. You can also follow us on the News on AIR app for updates.
The Supreme Court of India is all set to start hearing cases in a hybrid manner, both physical and virtual, from the 15th of March. The Apex Court has issued several directions and standard operating procedure for the court's functioning in consideration of the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic and suggestions given by the bar associations. The court has devised a pilot scheme to hear cases in the hybrid mode on an experimental basis. According to the scheme, the final hearing and regular matters listed on Tuesdays, Wednesdays and Thursdays will be heard in the hybrid mode after consideration of the number of parties in a matter and the limited capacity of the courtrooms. However, all other matters, including those listed on Mondays and Fridays, will continue to be heard through video conferencing mode. Union Health Minister Dr. Harshvardhan has said that the funding for the healthcare sector needs to be stepped up greatly and it has to be ensured that there is equity in the delivery of healthcare. Reiterating the government's commitment towards health and well-being of the citizens, Dr. Harshvardhan highlighted the highest ever funding for the sector in the Union Budget 2021-22 and said the total sum allocated to the health sector is over 2.2 lakh crore rupees. He said the massive increase of 137% in budgetary allocation for the sector will not only help strengthen healthcare infrastructure of the country, but also focus on areas of preventive health and holistic well-being. Addressing the inaugural session of Tech Bharat 2021 today, Dr. Harshvardhan said the Pradhan Mantri Atmanirbhar Swasth Bharat Yojana, with a massive outlay of over 64,000 crore rupees over the next 6 years, will develop capacities of primary, secondary and tertiary care healthcare systems. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will address the Jan Aushadhi Divas celebrations tomorrow at 10 a.m. via video conferencing. The Prime Minister will dedicate to the nation the 7,500th Jan Aushadhi Kendra at Negrims, Shillong during the event. He will interact with beneficiaries of Pradhan Mantri Bharatiya Jan Aushadhi Pariyojana and also give awards to stakeholders by recognizing their excellent work. Union Minister for Chemicals and Fertilizers will also be present on the occasion. More from our correspondent.
Pradhan Mantri Bharatiya Jan Aushadhi Pariyojana endeavors to provide quality medicines at an affordable price. The number of stores under the scheme has grown to 7,499 with all districts of the country covered. Sales in the current financial year has led to total savings of nearly 3,600 crore rupees for the common citizens. The cost of medicines sold at the Jan Aushadhi Kendra is cheaper by 50 to 90% than their corresponding market rates. The first week of March is being celebrated as Jan Aushadhi Week across the nation with the theme of Jan Aushadhi Seva Bhi Rozgar Bhi, with the last day being observed as the Jan Aushadhi Divas. Anand Chaturvedi, AIR News, Delhi.
In the run-up to the International Women's Day celebrated on the 8th of March, All India Radio News is honouring women achievers from diverse fields by bringing their stories. Today we bring to you the stories of women environmentalists. Purnima Savargaonkar, a former ISRO scientist, has now turned into a horticulturist. She is also an entrepreneur. Her startup, Enriched Soil and Soul, produces soil from stubble waste, agri-waste and horticulture waste. More from our correspondent.
Her enterprise sells 7 varieties of soil. The soil is made of stubble waste and organic material. Her initiative is sustainable as it reduces the burden on the environment. She sources this waste from a farmer family in the NCR region. She grows 70 varieties of food at the terrace of her residence using soil made by her from the stubble. Talking to All India Radio News, Ms. Sarvagaonkar informed that she teaches people on how to compost their kitchen waste. Ms. Sarvagaonkar teaches urban gardening waste management at various platforms.
I convert people from waste throwers to resource growers. अगर आप किसानों को ये समझाइए कि ये स्टबल आप फेंक कर जो खाद खरीदते हो, आप इसी पराली को जमीन पर प्रोसेस कर दीजिएगा, आपके खाद लाने का पैसा बच जाएगा.
Ms. Sarvagaonkar believes that plastic should be recycled. She says generation of new plastic should be reduced.
प्लास्टिक को रिसाइकिल करना मस्ट है. जो ये यूज प्लास्टिक है, इसको प्लास्टिक इंडस्ट्री में ही इनपुट के तौर पे जाना चाहिए. तो नया प्लास्टिक जनरेट करना कम करें और यूज्ड प्लास्टिक को अगर हम इनपुट करें, जैसे शीशे में करें, वैसे प्लास्टिक को भी जाना जरूरी है.
Diksha Saxena for AIR News, Delhi.
Union Home Minister and senior BJP leader Amit Shah will arrive in Kerala later tonight. This will be his first visit to Kerala after assuming charge as the Home Minister. He will attend various programs held across Kerala and Tamil Nadu tomorrow. He will attend BJP Core Committee meeting. He will also inaugurate the valedictory convention of the BJP's Vijay Yatra held at Sangammukham Beach. For the last 3 years, Prime Minister Narendra Modi has been interacting with students, parents and teachers through the program Pariksha Pe Charcha. Vikram Adsul, winner of National Ideal Teacher Award 2018 from Kharjar Taluk of Ahmednagar district in Maharashtra, said that students, parents and teachers from all over the country are being enlightened through this program and they are getting a different direction. More from our Mumbai correspondent.
Vikram Adsul, winner of National Ideal Teacher Award 2018 from Kharjar Taluka of Ahmednagar district in Maharashtra, said that the main objective of the Pariksha Pe Charcha program is to celebrate the exams as a festival, to keep a happy atmosphere at home and to allow students to appear the exams with a smile in a stress-free environment. He advised that the book Exam Warriors, written by Prime Minister Narendra Modi, should be read by every parent and student. Adsul feels if everyone follows the 25 mantras mentioned in the book, then surely every student will go for the exam in a happy atmosphere.
परीक्षा एक जीवन का महत्वपूर्ण हिस्सा है, लेकिन इस परीक्षा को हम कैसे सामने जाए, इसके लिए भारत के प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी ने जो पिछले 3 सालों से परीक्षा पे चर्चा प्रोग्राम का जो आयोजन किया है, ये पेरेंट्स, स्टूडेंट्स और टीचर्स के लिए बहुत ही महत्वपूर्ण है.
He said, this year, despite the closure of schools due to COVID-19 pandemic, children are learning online. Teachers are imparting knowledge to them as much as they can. This year's Pariksha Pe Charcha event will also be held on a virtual platform. Adsul appealed to all students, parents and teachers to participate in this program. Sweetie Jain, Air News, Mumbai.
In European Hockey Series, the match between Indian men's team and Great Britain at Antwerp in Belgium ended in a 1-1 draw this evening. It was the third game of the 4-match tour of Europe. The next match of the series between India and Great Britain will be played on the 8th of March. The Indian team played out a 1-1 draw against Germany in the second game. Earlier, world number 4 India crushed Germany 6-1 in the first match. Now let us take a look at the weather forecast for tomorrow. National capital Delhi is likely to have thunderstorm with rain. The temperature will hover between 15 and 34 degrees Celsius. Mumbai will have mainly clear skies. The minimum temperature will be 22 degrees Celsius, while the maximum is expected to be around 34 degrees. Chennai is expected to have partly cloudy skies. The temperature will vary between 23 and 33 degrees. Kolkata will also have mainly clear sky. The city will observe minimum temperature of 23 degrees Celsius and a maximum of around 35 degrees. Srinagar will have generally cloudy skies with moderate rain. Temperature will hover between 4 and 8 degrees Celsius. Jammu will have generally cloudy skies with light rain. The minimum temperature will be between 14 degrees and 28 degrees. Leh is expected to have mainly clear skies. Minimum will be -7 degrees Celsius, while the maximum will be around 8 degrees. Gilgit and Muzaffarabad will have mainly clear skies. In Gilgit, the temperature will hover between 6 and 22 degrees Celsius, while in Muzaffarabad, the temperature will vary between 10 and 18 degrees.
The News Services Division of All India Radio will bring an exclusive interview with Bangladesh historian Professor Muntazir Mamoon in the Spotlight program. This can be heard tonight on FM Gold channel and additional frequencies from 9:15 p.m. onwards. This program will also be available on our website, newsonair.com, and on our YouTube channel, News on AIR Official. And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. India beat England in final cricket test to clinch series 3-1, qualify for World Test Championship final, reclaim top spot in latest ICC Test team rankings. PV Sindhu storms into women's singles final of Swiss Open badminton tournament at Basel. Prime Minister Narendra Modi chairs a valedictory session of Combined Commanders Conference at Kevadia in Gujarat. President Ramnath Kovind says objective of judicial system is not only to resolve disputes but also to protect justice. BJP releases first list of 56 candidates for West Bengal Assembly elections. Shubhendu Adhikari to contest against West Bengal Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee on Nondigram seat. Ruling AIADMK party allots 20 assembly seats and Kanyakumari parliamentary seat to BJP for upcoming polls in Tamil Nadu. Union Health Ministry and Niti Aayog review COVID-19 situation of states and union territory with spike in corona cases. Over 1.94 lakh people administered COVID-19 vaccine in the country so far. Supreme Court to start hearing cases in hybrid manner, both physical and virtual, from 15th of March. And in men's European hockey series, the match between India and Britain ends in a 1-1 draw. And with that, we end the evening news. Good night.